If you'd like to restore a database from a full backup, SQL Backup makes it very simple with the wizard. I'm working with the SQL Backup UI, and I'd like to restore a copy of the mapping database to a different name. I'll right-click the database and select Restore. The available backups in the history for the mapping database are displayed, and I can select the one that I want. In this case, I just want the full backup. I'll click Next. On this step, SQL Backup makes sure that the files I've chosen actually exist on disk. If the backup is encrypted, you'll see a little padlock icon here, and you must type in the password that was used when the backup was created. I'll click Next. Here, I can choose to overwrite the database or choose another database on that server, or I can create a new database with the backup. I'll do that. I just need to type in the name and notice that the file names are automatically adjusted so that they don't conflict with the original files. I can change the location and names of the files if I wish. I'll click Next. Here I've chosen Restore with Recovery. The choice here means the state that you want the database to be in once you perform this restore. If you want the database to be fully usable, select the first option. Here's another option to check for orphan users. This comes into play when restoring a database onto a different server and the server logins don't match. The database users that are missing the logins are called orphaned users. This option will generate a list of the orphan users so you can correct the issue. I'll click Next. Here's the summary, and you can also take a look at the script. I'll click Finish and wait for the database to be restored. Once that's done, I'll click Close to dismiss the dialog box. This time, I'd like to restore a database to a different server. I'll right-click SQL 3 and select Restore. Instead of selecting from the backup history, I'll find a file on disk. I'll look for a file, and in this case, I'm looking on SQL 3. I'll look at the backups that have been copied for the default instance of SQL 2. Remember that when I set up the scheduled backup jobs, I set them to copy files to the share on SQL 3. In this case, there's a split backup file, so I need to select all 3 files. I'll click OK. The files are checked. I'll click Next. I'll create a new database and give it a name and click Next. I'll accept the defaults here and click Next. Here's the summary. I'll click Finish, and that worked. I'll click Close, and there you can see the new database.